So we are still with Karl, and we're having a great time talking to him. I'm totally enjoying this. I hope you guys are as well. So Karl has recently survived COVID, and he got it, and he survived completely, recovered fully. So let's speak to him about that. Karl, please tell us how has, for a lack of a better expression, your COVID experience been, and how people like us, what do we need to do? Do we be petrified, or give us some tips?
Yeah, at the beginning in Delhi, it was really, really hard to get tested. So I finally got tested and found I was COVID positive, and you just feel really tired, you get a headache, and sometimes you might get a cough, but I had no cough and I had no fever. My fever wasn't high. So everyone's having different symptoms, but if you get COVID, you don't need to worry. Just go and get tested and talk to a doctor. The doctor will help you get through it. Most people won't have to worry about having COVID. It's our elders who we have to worry about. Older people are more susceptible to having, worse effects, which can, lead to death. So as a younger person, we'll be okay. So yeah, all I can say is, if you're starting to feel sick, try and get a test and talk to a doctor, and you will be fine though. Like for example, I had far worse symptoms than my family, or my Indian family did. They just had headaches and a little bit of tiredness, but I had like a chest infection and a few other things. So to me, it seems Indians are a bit stronger than foreigners.
Okay. I just hope it doesn't take a lot of toll on people, and I wish good health to you and your family on this regard. And it's really nice. It's really encouraging and comforting to hear that we'll be okay. So that's a good that's a good reassurance.
Everyone will be okay, and the death rate in India is quite small, actually, smaller than other countries. So
okay.
Yeah, situation is looking okay.
Yeah, to go with the numbers also, we're not like 100% sure if they're all the true indicators of the ground situation. But yeah.
Yeah, they're not. So the thing is, Delhi's death rate right now, I think it's 2.75%. But actually it's much lower than that, because most people aren't getting tested and most people are surviving.
Oh, okay.
It's only the people who are really getting sick who are getting tested. So the death rate is much lower. They've done a survey and they think 25% of Delhi has had COVID.
Oh.
So that 2.75% is much, much lower than it actually is.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, that's comforting. that anything positive related to COVID is really, really nice to hear. Thank you so much on that. I wish you guys, I wish everyone good health and a good fighting chance with this dreadful disease. I just hope and pray to magically just one day goes away and does not come back ever again. The psychological toll is
next year.
Yeah. Let's talk about the psychological toll. That's hitting people more than the disease itself. What are your views on that? And how does one stay positive?
Yeah, that's the hardest thing. There's a social stigma around having COVID, right? Like your neighbors, they might treat you a bit differently. They'll literally run away from you when they see you walking down the street, even when you're not COVID positive, okay? They'll act a bit strange. Even now, some of them are still acting a bit strange with me. And people in Delhi don't really want to see foreigners on the street. That's been my experience. I think there's this kind of feeling that foreigners are spreading COVID in India. At least I met one laborer in Old Delhi who thought that, and he told me that. He came up to me and told me to get out of here because I am COVID. That's literally what he said to me. So it's a bit tricky. It's a bit tricky, man. But that's the hardest part, actually. Yeah, that social stigma is the hardest thing. So people need to treat each other like with a bit of compassion, like we're all going to be okay and get through this COVID. You don't need to freak out if someone gets COVID near you. Everyone's going to be okay.
Yeah, so I did see that video of yours. The way the laborer was behaving, it was pretty sad to see. Like on the part of us Indians, somebody treating a guest like that it's sad. So yeah, if you guys haven't seen that video, you should check it out. I will leave that in the description as well. just moving back to our home state of Odisha and your travel experience, since we're on the lines of not so pleasant experience, did you have any not so good experience while you were in Odisha?
No, everything was good. There was only one thing, okay? Foreigners can't enter the Jagannath temple in Puri, and that just leaves a bad taste in foreigners' mouths. That's all. We feel excluded. So that's the only thing which I feel is a problem for foreigners who are traveling to Odisha. Besides that, everything else was great, and I could enter all the other temples just fine, and it was nice. Yeah.
Well, there is a religious guideline to that, and I understand how you feel about it. Unfortunately, we all have to respect that. Being from the land of temples, they are a religious place of worship and not a tourist site. So that's kind of how it is, right? That way, I unfortunately don't have a solution to that. But moving on, tell me something. Did you uncover any scams or did you find anything scammy?
Yeah, so I cover scams on my YouTube channel just to educate foreigners and Indians about how to avoid this stuff, because I live in the scam capital, which is Delhi. And I just found one scam in Odisha.
Really?
So on Chilka Lake, on Chilka Lake, you can buy fake, or people try to sell you fake gems.
Oh.
They open up these clams, they put the gems in, and then they glue it shut.
Oh, the glue is shut.
And then on the boat trip, they come and smash it open. They're like, wow, look what you found, a gem. And they're like, Jai Jagannath. And then you buy it because you feel like you're so lucky that you found this gem. So that was the only scam that I found, and I made a video on that.
We'll link that as well. It's sad. It's sad, but it's hilarious as well. And the pearls shine, right?
Yeah, the pearls are so shiny. They're just these kind of like 50 rupee fake pearls from the store.
But you did a little bit of research. From whatever knowledge, unfortunately, these scammers don't come up to us because we're the people from here. They won't do that with us. So, but I've heard that the pearls that come out of oysters don't shine as much, or are it only shines after it's polished. Is that how it is?
Yeah, they have to be polished and processed a little bit to get that shine. And actually, so what was in the clam that I brought, it was a real pearl. It was just the lowest grade of pearl. And I think I paid 800 rupees for it when it should have been 50 rupees.
Wow.
So that's the scam. And then some of the stones are just totally fake stones.
Oh,
they're trying to sell you these really expensive stones, and they're completely fake. They're made of coral or other things.
And these stones also come out from those oysters?
Yeah. They'll stick anything in those oysters and try and trick you.
God, bhai mane ho. Anyways, so I hope okay, that's a scammy. Okay, let's go to the scam meter. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the worst, how does your experience of Odisha lie on the scam meter? How scammy are we?
No, Delhi's 10 and Odisha is like 1. There's nothing happening in Odisha in terms of scams, really, you know what I mean?
That's so sweet. That's so sweet of you. So we're just having a candid...
Like everywhere else it was fine. It was just Chilika Lake where there's some issues happening.
Okay, wonderful. So that's really nice to hear. I was honestly mutike dari aitli bhaina kon koibe. I was a little scared ki kon koibe scam meter jodi 8 9 8 9 ranking asigala. So anyways, 1 out of 10 is very good in terms of scam scale. So there have been a lot of people telling me that Vish bhai, you have not taken Karl bhaina to this place, that place. So yes, Karl did not travel the length and breadth of Odisha. That is kept for his second visit. So tell me something, Karl. Odisha as a holiday destination, would you recommend it to your friends?
Yeah, I already have been recommending it to people. I think the last people I told to go there was Abhi and Niyu. There's some other YouTubers.
Okay.
And I think they've already been though. It seems like they've already been.
Oh,
so
wow.
yeah, I'm telling a lot of people to go to Odisha, especially if you're interested in temples and kind of the traditional way of life in India. Like for example, when we went to Ananta Basudevi, the temple which prepares all this incredible food, like ancient food. So just things like this you can only experience in Odisha, I think.
And you really enjoyed the temple food, right?
Yeah, I made a video on that, and that video went viral. That food was out of this world.
Yeah.
Something I've never had anywhere else. It just tasted so pure. That's what.
Yeah. This is the magic to that temple food. And yes, like Karl is saying, that video absolutely was on fire on his channel. So, no.
It's still going.
Yeah. So what? It's crossed like 1.5 million views or something like that, no?
Yeah, it's exactly 1.5, and I think the top comment is just people telling me how lucky I am and asking if I can bring it to them overseas.
Wow.
Please bring me this bojan.
Wow, that's amazing. That's really nice. Now, it would be really insightful. A lot of people in Odisha watch this video. A lot of people from the authorities also watch my videos. So, how do you suggest improvements? How can Odisha be a much better place for foreign tourists? What would you recommend?
There's not much because I didn't have any real issues there. I would go and clean up Chilka Lake. I get the police to go and sort that out because there's kind of a fake marina there as well. So the scam happens when you go to the first marina and you don't go all the way to the end marina, the main marina. And there's literally people on the road telling you to take a left and go to this bad marina. So police could sort that out. On Chilka Lake, I would try and make it a bit more eco-friendly somehow. Maybe you got to turn off those motors somehow. Those motors are so loud and it destroys the peacefulness of Chilka Lake. So if we can somehow, and it can hurt the dolphins. So if we can somehow make that area a bit quieter, it would be incredible. It would be even more incredible. Just a few simple things like that, nah? And the situation in Puri with Jagannath, something should be done with that. Like Hinduism is such an inclusive religion, so it's a bit strange to not let foreigners go in there. And I've seen it from above, and it just looks incredible. So, yeah, that can be worked on. I don't know if that will ever change, though.
Correct.
But there's not much to fix, to be honest. It's an incredible state, and there's so much to do for tourists, foreigners and Indians. I think Indians will love Odisha as well. I think they will feel like they've gone back in time a bit. You know, someone from Delhi, when I go there, I'm like, wow, this is so different to the lives most of us are living in Delhi, Mumbai, or it's like old India. That's what I would say.
Correct. Untouched. No wonder we call it India's best kept secret. So yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Really
I think Odisha and Chhattisgarh, both these states, like really showed me something new. You know, they showed me a different side of India.
So before we move on, Karl, there was one thing that you mentioned about the amusing experience of you watching people topless in Odisha. Tell us a little more about that.
Yeah, so I mean, from what I know about Indians, you guys are very conservative. So when I was traveling through the villages in Odisha, I noticed the men don't like to wear t-shirts, and the women wore very loose kind of tops, and when the wind would blow, it would expose them. And I got a real shock when I saw that riding my motorcycle. I was like, what is going on here? Why is that woman's top blowing? And it was just a funny experience for me. I just haven't seen this in India, but as you explained to me, it's because it's so hot. They need to wear kind of looser clothing, but yeah, just didn't expect that, and it just found it a little funny.
And I'm sure it must be some really old lady, right?
Yeah, it was only old women who were wearing this kind of loose tops. I don't know what they're called. Kind of look like sari material or some kind of dupatta material. But.
Yeah, they are the saris, but yeah, they're like I get what you're saying. So yeah,
have you seen that? You've seen that, right?
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. So yeah, I think temperature is the only answer that I can give, because it's extremely hot mostly throughout the year, and so because of that, men as usual work on the fields in rural Odisha, and it's hot, so it's either a ganji that they wear or nothing at all if they've got better abs. So and women, the older folks, maybe just chill with that.
Yeah, I'm used to Haryana and Rajasthan, where it's very traditional, and the women in the fields will literally have their face covered. Everything will be covered. You won't see anything. And these are the Hindu women as well. So, that's what I'm used to. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that as well.
No worries.